Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Comes to you live from the company cows here in the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon Reviews for February 12th, 2023, with your host, Peacemaker2448, and Wrap Up Salon.
Hi.
It is certainly another week of Armada.
And it is certainly another week of geek.
Not feeling super hot on geeks this week.
No, there's just a lot to unpack with this one.
Fair. Because, let's see. Naga's pretty much been found out to be the traitor because she got desperate and pulled some real stupid moves.
Yeah.
Which, fair. She's this close to the end and she's like, I have to get the blame on someone because I don't know what else to do. Granted, I think her second one feels really stupid and dumb because it's like, Naga, who's gonna believe you when you say that?
Yeah, I think the last she shouldn't have pushed for.
Yeah.
I feel like she probably would have gotten it had that not happened.
Mm-hmm. But it doesn't seem to matter because the DGP apparently is going to be on an indefinite hiatus starting next week because, oops, the Game Master lost a belt to, not Azu.
Yeah. Yeah, and now we have all three belts in play.
Yeah, because now we have the gun. And we have Jin. Not Jin, J-I-N. Jin, Z-I-N-N. Which I keep forgetting to mention it because I keep forgetting it and then am re-reminded on Twitter. The guy playing Jin is the guy who played Ishinomori in the Writer Sentai crossover we just had recently, where Ishimori was the character in it. I can't remember. Superhero Senki, that's what it was. Yeah, he played Ishimori in that, meaning that technically Ishimori is now a writer by 6 degrees of separation. How do you feel about Jin, like, design-wise? Because I've seen people divided on it. I'm fine with it. I just think the card, just shoving it into the suits, just looks weird.
Yeah. It kind of takes it away from the suit.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, outside of our base driver stuff, we're not really focused on trying to stick with animals going forward. So
Yeah.
I kind of feel like that one's a good middle of the road kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Where I think design wise they're doing is the players are animal based. The staff are eye based ? At least card based.
I think all of the Game Masters, their names are derived from eye stuff because their little helmet things are supposed to be eyes.
Right.
I think the sponsors keep that trend, but I'm not sure.
I'm almost feeling like the staff side of it, we're seeing at least card themed as far as for transformations. And I almost think that that's where the sponsors feel like they're that next step up, so it makes sense that it's this weird hybrid. And if that's what they're going for, then I'm fine with the suit.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that point, then we're also going to see something culminating of the three below when we get the producer's suit, because you can't tell me he don't have one.
Yeah. Also, since we've got, pictures of the toys and stuff, so for the belt and the gun, and the other 3 cards that we're supposed to get in the show for the other 3 riders, there's a colored in hex on the cards, and there are 2 hexes that are not colored in. And based off the assumptions on how these cards work in terms of like being read in the driver, because the driver is universal amongst all 4 of them, there might be 8 cards based off notches we see on them. But that's we'll find out when this toy comes out, I think in the next couple weeks or so.
I'm almost thinking that the belt we've seen the Game Masters use, we're probably not going to see Ace and whoever's on his side of it wind up using.
Yeah.
The one the sponsors have is the one that I'm almost wondering if we're going to see some kind of hybrid with the Desire Drivers kind of deal.
Apparently it has railing for the Desire Driver.
That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and I want to see if I can see a picture of it.
That kind of makes sense why I'm feeling that direction. Because I feel like if their pattern geets off of Gaim, Ace will never get a new driver. He'll get attachments for the current driver. And if that's the case, then gun attachment that can come off and also be gun, yeah, makes sense. We've already seen something somewhat similar with the jet form.
Yeah.
So I could see this being the logical next step kind of deal.
Yeah, because we're supposed to get Boost Mark II relatively soon, because it is coming alongside all of these card stuff.
It wouldn't surprise me if Mark II has something to do with gun.
Well, interesting enough, and you can spot this in the episode, on the inside of the gun, you can see Keats' ID cord. Or at least the picture that is on Keats' ID cord.
That doesn't surprise me.
Which I believe is right where like the card portion is. So, more or less, whoever sponsor we're looking at, their rider that they're sponsoring, their logo's on the inside of the card.
I also feel like the sponsors, while we're focusing a little harder on them right now, they're fixing to not mean anything. I get the funny feeling that the sponsors for the riders outside of Buffa, I get the feeling that they're really not going to mean much here in another month or so.
I think Jin's will stick around because he's apparently the only one with a physical suit. The other 3 are
I'm not meaning won't be relevant. I'm meaning won't be in the show, period. Like be killed off kind of concept. And that be the reason for everyone getting their upgrade.
Yeah, because I've seen that speculation. Like, again, since these can be shoved in the Desire Driver, and, well, everyone besides Ace doesn't really have a matched buckle that isn't just taking boost or using fever, I could see them co-opting the gun as their matched buckle for everyone else. I guess besides Buffa, since he's got the Yamato buckle at the moment, and that's his.
Because Because I feel like Buffa's going to be the outlier all the way through. But I almost wonder if that's going to be the case. But this whole sponsor arc is literally just to set up a...
Yeah. I could see it.
Because it wouldn't surprise me if we do this. It's probably going to push close enough to what we would assume would be the final villain in the producer, except for twist. It's actually our Yamato farmer. Because I get the feeling that that's where we're going with this.
Also, you're right, because Nut Sparrow is in the lineup with Buffa, and it's all cleared up now.
Uh-huh. So we're having the Riders versus Yamato, technically.
Yeah.
I say technically because, I mean, currently both Riders showed on that side is still human-ish.
He's not gone full Buffa yet. We're waiting on that one.
Yeah.
We also got teased on the girl's transformation because we see big shadow of what it is. I'm guessing we'll see it next week because I think the preview shows her transforming, but we just don't see the suit. Well, the CG suit. Because her and the other two are CG only suits. Apparently.
Makes sense.
I
mean, it really makes sense if they're not planning on doing too much with kind of deal.
I would assume that too. Because it also feels like she's the only one that would stick around long enough to matter. The other two are going to be, hey, we're here for probably a couple episodes, and then we're dead. Or just done.
Probably dead.
Yeah.
Because I get the feeling by the end of this, most of the DGP staff is no longer going to exist. For varying reasons.
It's just going to be Samiri just trying to be like, how the fuck do I run this? Because I guess I'm in charge now.
No, because I think that's where, through some kind of weird, twisted, screwed up way, Ace is going to win and get his desire of being the game master.
Yeah.
Which will put him in the right spot to continue this.
Also, it might have just been the translations, but they say Vision Drivers plural at one point. So there is multiples of these. Maybe.
Possibly. Or it's the same one passed to them at random intervals.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if that's just a translation thing or if that's completely accurate, but they said Vision Drivers plural. So presumably there is a Vision Driver Ace can get whenever the DGP goes back into effect. Because he's probably winning. Because it damn sure ain't gonna be Nago at this point.
Yeah.
Trying to think of what else from the episode. Not much else. Besides Tycoon continually getting dunked on. Because that's been the theme of this arc, is Tycoon gets dunked on all the time.
That's been the theme of this arc? So you're calling the entire show so far an arc?
I mean, more so this arc. It just seems like he's been incredibly dunked on this arc.
The man has had Boost stolen from him how many times?
and it has been upset with him because it has kicked him in the head that many times as well.
He's been screwed this entire show.
Yeah.
So I reiterate my previous question of, by arc you mean entire show.
Also, we've decided to give Nago a proper fever weapon with her beat form, and that is we took 2 of our prop beat axes and we glued them together. And by glued, I mean we duct taped them together for this exact one scene. We're gonna hope they don't fall apart. I am surprised they have 2 of the prop.
I mean, that's for when one inevitably breaks.
Yeah. And also Tycoon gets boost, so hooray for him, he gets boost.
Not to mention, we're a little too far from the end of the show just to, let it be the equivalent to that one Kachidoki flag.
Yeah.
I still feel like that was a complete accident, but whoever was directing that was like, no, we're keeping it, go with it. Because it did kind of sell it.
Yeah. Yeah, Geets, still good. I'm still enjoying it. Hooray! On the other hand, hello, Armada.
Yeah, with your 3.5 episodes.
Yep.
Because one of them is half a cloak show.
Yeah. So, any specific thoughts before we hit the 25 through 28?
Not really, besides what I mentioned about, I was full unprepared for a 2-parter. We had to drag it into a 3rd episode to start it. 3-parter, though, did kind of catch me off guard.
Yeah. So, we're going to kick things off with episode 25, Tactician. Ball of Light, that is a Transformer, shows up to a space shuttle and scans it and then fucks off for most of the episode.
However, the producing team kind of, did chain of events in a weird way and makes you think that is someone else when it's not.
Yeah.
I was kind of aggravated with that because it's like, you show us this, mention it in show even, but then we don't pay off on it until the end of the episode.
Yeah. So, meanwhile, from this happening, a different Transformer shows up on the Decepticon base and is sneaking around invisible and walks into the room where all the minicons are locked up and is like, hey buddy, you want to come help me do stuff? And it's like, sure, and then they leave. And then we get to the Autobots and Decepticons fighting as they normally do, which is like the most uninteresting thing in the show. And I don't understand how that is. Like, why are the fight scenes of this show so goddamn boring?
Because it usually boils down to, Optimus, I will stop you. Megatron, no you won't. Yes I will. No you won't.
The two sides firing randomly at each other and no one landing hits. Ever.
Yeah, when they're all supposed to be soldiers. I'm pretty sure that should have been the first thing you should have taught them, was how to shoot in a straight line.
It's gonna be really bad when we hit the 4th episode because, oh good lord.
Not to mention, yeah, that 4th episode. I'm just gonna say it. How can something that big with that many guns not hit anything?
What are you firing at? The air? Motherfucker! Your probability says you should have hit something by now. You have hit nothing! Nothing!
That big, that many guns. You should have hit something even if it was a teammate.
No, hits absolutely nothing for the entire episode. Why is this thing entirely threatening again?
I guess because it's never been shot. Until that episode. Because I picked up that one, and I'm like, I'm glad you said it that way, show. Because he can't hit the broadside of a barn.
Yep. It's too bad his name's not Broadside.
I mean, that is a joke completely missed, right?
Yep. Anyway, back at the episode we're talking about, Autobots and Decepticons are fighting. The kids spot a Minicon via laser beak because the kids are not allowed on the battlefield anymore. They're just at the base doing nothing.
Meaning that they're pretty much pointless for most of the show anymore.
Yep. So Scavenger has to get it, and then the Decepticons fuck off, and Thrust is watching them cloaked, and then he follows the Decepticons back, and Megatron's like, hey, Thrust, you want to come out and so we can plan shit? And Thrust is like, I'm here, Megatron. Let's do things. And he gets promoted to number 2 because he's a smart one. And Starscream gets to, be the one Thrust gives the orders to. Because that's the chain of command now. It's Megatron, the Thrust, the Starscream.
You sure about that? Because, I mean, a lot of these 2 episodes, it feels like the chain of command is Thrust, Megatron, then Starscream.
I mean, might as well.
And in some instances, Thrust, Starscream, then Megatron.
Yeah. But this leads to another battle for another Minicon. The Autobots get led into a trap. Oh no, they're getting shot at and stuff. But then backup arrives in the form of Jetfire, who's a space shuttle, and he shoots them all up, and the Decepticons fuck off. And I don't even know if they got the Minicon at the end of the episode. Because Jetfire just shows up and is like, by the way, I'm the number 2 for the Autobots, and I just got here. Where the fuck have you been, Jetfire? Did you take the long way?
You know, you make a valid point. The show never mentions whether or not they get the Minicon.
That keeps happening. This is not the first time that we have had a battle over a Minicon, and we don't know who ends up with the Minicon at the end of the day. The entire gimmick of the series.
I'm gonna assume the Autobots got that one. Because wasn't Scavenger trying to climb the mountainside to get it?
That was the first one.
Ah.
The second one, we have no idea.
Fair.
That's the problem. Anyway, episode 26, Link Up. So, fucking between episodes, Prime gets injured, and now he's in the repair bay, getting repaired. So Jetfire's now in charge.
I also love that the show also makes it a point to be like, no, this happened between episodes. Even though we had a battle that Optimus got hurt in at the end of the last episode. Could have just as easily been like, no, he's repairing from that last one. But no, no, we had an entire another battle that you just didn't get to see.
I have to wonder if that is a translation thing.
I hope it is, but I doubt it is. Because the show has made some very questionable decisions. You're going.
Yes. Nope, that's accurate in both versions.
Oh dear God. Why?
I have no idea.
Why?
But yeah, everybody's worried, but then an alarm sounds and there's Thrust flying above the base being a nuisance, and Jetfire's like, I'm gonna go shoot at him. And he's like, don't tell Optimus I'm doing this. And then everyone's
Don't
like,
tell him that I'm being careless.
don't tell him I did a stupid, please. I just got here. I don't want to get demoted. So he goes to chase after Thrust, and oh no, it's a trap. He gets shot at. And then the rest of the Autobots go to help him at a nearby island. And oh no, they get ambushed, and everyone's getting shot at. And then, oh no, everything's going horrible.
Because, oh no, everything's a tarp.
Yep. But that's when Prime just turns himself back on. Is just like, I'm gonna go help. And Red Alert and Scavenger are like, Optimus, you're dying. Maybe that's a terrible decision. Prime's like, no, I have an idea. So he goes there, and then him and Jetfire combine and form Jet Convoy, which is not the English name of this formation. That's the Japanese name for this formation, because Convoy is Optimus Prime's Japanese name. Oops. And they say this several times, meaning that is, they did not even bother to try to translate that.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be Jet Optimus.
You know what's bad? Even Jet Engine would have worked better.
Yeah. Well, the reason it's Jet Convoy is because Convoy is essentially the equivalent of Prime in Japanese. So all of the different Optimuses and Optimus adjacent characters are something Convoy. Like, I forget what Primal's Japanese name is, but I believe it is something Convoy.
Also, I love the fact that while combined going forward, we get everyone referring to them as Optimus.
Yeah, because Jetfire just becomes a pair of pants now.
Yeah.
Beast Convoy, or just Convoy, is Primal's Japanese name. And then it's Metals Convoy, and then it's Powered Convoy for his different forms from the season. So that gives you an idea of how this is supposed to work, and yeah, it's dumb. It's dumb that they're like, oops, we probably should have not called him Convoy, because it's not how that works. Anyway, episode 27, Detection. It's a clip show, folks, because essentially they review stuff about Sideways, and Jetfire's like, I don't recognize Sideways at all, even though he was working on our side at one point. That's suspicious. And then Thrust is like, he's a traitor to both sides. He's working for somebody else entirely. So him and Sideways fight, and then eventually Sideways turns into static goop and fucks off, saying cryptic bullshit. I don't even remember what he exactly said, actually. I just assume it's cryptic bullshit.
I mean, pretty much, yeah.
Okay, I was like, you remember what he specifically said?
Nope.
Fair enough. And that's the entire episode. Moving on. Episode 28, Awakening. we get reinforcements for a battle between the Autobots and the Decepticons that started at the end of last episode. It's a giant battleship that's called Tidal Wave that is here from another planet that he led a campaign and won in. I question how after the events of this episode.
It definitely wasn't because he outgunned them.
Yes. So for the entire episode, Tidal Wave shoots at the Autobots, doesn't hit the broadside of a fucking barn, just pins him down until a combination of jet fire swirling around his head, untransformed, distracts him long enough for Hotshot and Blur to tip him like a cow, and he sinks into the water.
Now let that sink in.
They literally drive up to him, get under him, whoop, into the water he goes, sunk. And all of the Decepticons, especially Thrust, are like, oh no, our invincible warrior has been defeated.
And I believe we also got a that's never happened before in that.
Yep, we got that from Thrust too. Oh my god. But then Sideways has to call into the Autobot base being like, hey, by the way, you probably got a minicon signal from inside the base. You're going to need that one and then 2 others to form the Requiem Blaster because you guys are fucked in like 3 minutes. Trust me on this for realsies. Okay, bye.
I love how now we just decided to relegate Sideways to the riders.
Yep.
Hey, we need you to do this thing, so you need to do this thing.
Pretty much. So the rest of the kids go look for the minicon. They find it, but then it's like, I don't like any of you, and just shoots at one of them and then fucks off and leaves, and the rest of them have to give chase. Meanwhile, Tidal Wave remembers that he's a transformer and transforms into his robot mode, and then floats in the air and then shoots at the Autobots more.
While still missing. Nothing.
Yes, incredibly so. The man has like 14,000 guns on him. Can't hit anybody with a single goddamn one of them. At all. What the fuck? Again, why is the action of this action series so goddamn boring? It's like one thing, because I could see the excuse of it's a kid's show. It's not supposed to have the most interesting characters and plots and all that because it's about the shooty bang bang. Well, the shooty bang bang fucking sucks. Also, I forgot to ask you this. On the first episode, did the video quality take a shit when Jetfire showed up?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I wanted to make sure that wasn't just me, that the audio all of a sudden got real static sounding and the video quality got all pixelated.
No, wasn't you.
Okay, good. What the fuck? Thanks, Tubi upload of the series that no one has fixed. But yeah, Tidal Wave gets back to shooting at the Autobots. And you know what the Decepticons are doing this entire time? Fucking nothing. They are just standing around while Tidal Wave continually shoots at the Autobots. Guys, you're not going to do anything? You're not going to take advantage of the fact that he just has them pinned down? Megatron, you have a fucking sword. Go and fucking slice someone's head off. No? Just going to stand around, do nothing? Oh my god. This fucking series. But yeah, that's our 4 episodes. Oh my god. Show, please, I am begging you, do anything interesting. Anything of value. I'm dying. I know. It's like Digimon Ghost Game, except way worse, because at least Digimon Ghost Game has good episodes. It just can't string a plot together because it absolutely fucking refuses to. Yeah, that's That's Armada. Any other thoughts?
No.
So next week, it's 4 more episodes as we're officially in the 3rd season of this show. Somehow, according to Tubi. We are quite literally halfway through, and it feels like nothing of value has happened. Like, the closest thing I feel like, because of what I know from later in the season, we have the start of something interesting with Starscream that immediately gets shafted and shoved off to the side. From the episode where Sideways was trying to turn him and Megatron against each other. I feel like there was something brewing there with Starscream, and then they're like, nah, fuck that, we don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But anywho, folks, between now and then, Thursday, I start Messenger, because I need to start something, I guess. And I don't know what else to play at the moment. Friday will be Splatoon 2. Saturday will be Fortnite or KH2 Rando. Also, yes, I have misspelled Fortnite on purpose for the last several streams.
I mean, makes sense.
I'm just waiting for a comment on the YouTube archive to be like, it's Fortnite, not Fortnite. And I'm like, are you sure about that? Because I want to gaslight people into thinking the name of the game is Fortnite and not Fortnite. That, or just annoy people.
I mean, fair.
But yeah, that'll be the option Saturday, and then Sunday is more of this show. Thankfully, when we change over the Kamen Rider Black, I have the means of giving you a copy of the Blu-ray of the series with that translation. Somebody uploaded a copy, so I got that copy because I don't have the means of ripping my Blu-rays myself. So this just removes that step. So we're just going to do the whole Google Drive thing for your end of it.
That works.
Because, yeah, I am super close to calling it on this show unless this show fucking has some sort of turn that, like, pushes it somewhere in the next, like, 2 weeks. But anywho, folks, that'll do it. If you like what you're seeing, drop a follow. Really appreciate it. Chip away that feel it. Go add to Saloon on Twitter. Get the updates on live. Exclamation point, Discord, and chat. Get to this little link. Drop by. Say hi. There's Dropbox for questions. We'll see you Thursday, folks.